What is going on, everybody? It's a hacking party. It's your boy, Big Lank 360. And I came here to stir things up like gumbo because we gonna switch things up for the 2023. But look, can you introduce yourself?
All right, so you guys, you know what the channel is. This is B Plus. Yeah, I guess about maybe a month ago, me and Lank got together. We talked a little bit about being a creative in this Christian hip hop space, and that conversation kind of spun off. And he said at the end of that video that he was gonna stay on me about telling my story.
And I appreciate you. Continue to keep being who you are,
man.
And tell your story, bro. Because you know what, I want in the word. I want to hear it. I want to hear your story.
I got you. I got you. It'll be soon. It'll be soon. If January goes by and I ain't told my story yet, come knock on my Twitter door. He thinks I'm interesting for some reason. So he decided that he was going to hijack the channel today and interview me. So whatever that's gonna be, that's what we're gonna do. So Lank, I guess I'll toss it back to you.
Look, and as he said, as he passed the baton, it's the ITI. I'm interviewing the interviewer. Yeah. And look, this is the thing. The brother B Plus, he did a recap of a lot of dope projects that came out in 2022 of all the CHH artists, and it's just so awesome. Tastic, Asian Nation, Dosage, Renerific, Tastic, Dosage, Mundo. But look, one thing I do want to tag along on is the CHA's 2K22 series that he got going on. Yes, can you elaborate more on that, man? Give people a recap on that.
Man, so really quickly, I do album reviews throughout the whole year. I do album reviews. I do long form recap countdowns. I do recap snapshots. Those are short form. I, in particular with the CHH 2K22, I've done a few brackets. I did Aha Gazelles, Best Features of the Year, No Big Deals, Best Features of the Year. The homies over at CHH Talk, they put together this big, huge bracket of like 60 projects, and we just kind of work our way down to the bottom. So I just wrapped up that series. So I just do a whole lot of fun things covering CHH. So that's what Big Lank is talking about.
Absolutely. And don't forget, look, I did not forget about the holy culture. See, I didn't know about that. I didn't forget about that. See, let me tell you something, even though this interview ain't about me, but let me be selfish for a quick 10-minute. See, this is the thing. I remember back in the day, the South.com. Yeah. I remember the Buzzshot.com getting all the CDs, but also
Spirit Hip Hop.
Yeah, all of that. Spirit Hip Hop. Look. Holy Culture Radio. See, I have a confession to make. See, I had an MP3 ripper. So as I played the shows back in the
shows.
Right. I remember the show. That's how I got to know about these awesome artists with their CHH, baby. So look, me and Holy Culture go back. You know what I'm saying? But
look, absolutely.
We gonna get to kicking right now. But look, let me start you off with this, man. Let me start you off with this question, man. So pulling out the paper.
Oh, we got paper today.
That's right. Even with the rip, you know what I'm saying? Let it rip. So this is the thing, man. How did your name B Plus come about?
Wow. I didn't think we was going to go there. But it's actually, it didn't start with DJing really. It actually came from basketball. I'm a hooper. I've been a hooper. Basketball was life for 22 years. For 22 years of my life, like it was eat, sleeping, and drinking basketball. Shout out to my pops, my first coach, my greatest coach. So played ball my entire life. I was blessed to play college ball. So that was a lot of fun down there at Wofford College. Shout out to the Terriers down there. But all that to say, whatever, it was like an internal thing. Like no matter how well I played, you kind of know the same, like in basketball or any sport, somebody will say like, oh, you brought your A game. Like that's more something like you heard like in the 90s, like when we grew up. But like they say like you brought your A game today. In my head internally, I would always say like, no matter how well I played, I was like, man, that's just a B plus. I can play better. Like I can always push myself. I can always have less turnovers. I can always like, oh man, my dude Rob was hot. I didn't give him the ball enough. I could do that better. Like my assist turnover ratio wasn't where it was supposed to be. Whatever it was, I would have a list of things that I would critique myself to get better. So no matter how good I played, I would say that's just a B plus. Then as I got a little bit older, around college, I think where was it at? I was going out playing ball just like at the park. This is after college. So after my basketball career was over, I was just kind of hooping at random parks. I would just pull up and just kind of do my thing. So I remember telling people that like, this is just my B plus. I can play better. I can just play better. But I didn't talk a whole lot of trash, but every once in a while people would talk and I would just kind of talk back a little bit. So that's where it started. Fast forward through how I became a DJ. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit later, but
absolutely.
Long story short, at the time where I started getting gigs, they would ask me what my DJ name was. And I was just kind of like, B plus, DJ B plus. And that's literally how it happened. I was at a skating rink in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And the owner of the rink asked me what my DJ name was. And I was just like, B plus. So that's how I came up with the name B plus.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But also the question to add on to that, you have a slogan, which is very simple, but it's very impactful. Be positive. Where did that stem from?
Well, I think that just kind of spun off after, I think it's like in general, I'm generally a pretty positive person, but I think that was just kind of like a spinoff of B plus. So shout out to my big brother, Bernard. He created me a logo way back when. It's pretty much the same logo I have today, where it's a B and then like the plus is kind of embedded in there. So I think this is going back like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I actually had a podcast. I had a podcast 10 years ago. And I think around that time, I just didn't know what to call it. And I was just like, my B plus symbol is obviously like, it's my DJ name, but it also says be positive. So I was just like, and that's what I want people to be. I mean, scripture, I want to say it's in Philippians, where it talks about whatsoever things that are true, of good report. It has like a whole list of things that you should be.
Was it Philippians 4:9 or 4:8?
It's right around there. I think you might have nailed it. I think it's 4:8. That you should think on those things. So I think that's if you're thinking on those things, you would probably live a more positive life. So that's where B positive came from. It's kind of a spinoff of like B plus because it's literally the same symbol. I don't have to change it. So maybe that was the reason why.
Look, that's what I wanted to know. And even into that, to go into more of a detailed thing, because I will also say I have to vouch for the positive attitude that you have. It does come across in everything you do. And with that being said, like, where are you from and what was your upbringing like?
So I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. And man, 2-parent household, thank God. My father was one of the head deacons on the deacon board, and they called it the deacon board. They sat in a special section of the church and everything. So that was my father, and my mother was superintendent over Sunday school. So like first one there because of Sunday school, last one there because my dad's counting the money. So like in church, we was in church, and I'm talking about like, I was raised Pentecostal apostolic. So like that's two denominations that have joined forces like the Avengers. And it was something. It was something. So it was pretty dogmatic. I'm appreciative of my upbringing. I would never dunk on the Pentecostal apostolic faith. But it is what it was. But yeah, so very, very godly household. I think I told this story on not the same podcast. Shout out to Rob Redeem and C. Micah, my homies over there. But I grew up at Berean Christian Bookstore with my mom, picking out Sunday school commentaries and literature and pamphlets and stuff like that. And I would be over in the section where they had the over-ear headphones, and you can pretty much try the CDs before you buy them. And I was over there listening to Cross Movement, Grape Tree, like that, just like the whole nine, KJ52. So I was over there listening to Christian hip hop. So that's kind of how I got my love. My brother that I mentioned before, he's the reason why I love Christian hip hop. So he's the one that got me into it. So yeah, 2-parent household, raised to love the Lord, the whole 9 yards. So kind of reminds me of the Truth song. I ain't got no horror story.
Say, I ain't got no horror story, God. I give him all the glory, yeah, yes. but now I know the blood of the Lamb saved my soul. Hey,
I'm a church boy, but at the same time, don't get the be positive and my positive outlook on life to mean that I don't understand that like this world is crazy and that I've experienced some crazy stuff. So that's one of the things that I guess when it comes to this whole I think I just messed up my thing. Sorry, we're gonna do this. We're not editing this out because I don't believe in editing out stuff.
That's right.
I just leave stuff how it is. But yeah,
Yep.
so sometimes I get a little apprehensive about the whole B plus thing because people sometimes can think that I just stick my head in the sand and I don't see all the stuff that's going on in Christian hip hop. I don't see the ills of the world. I'm pretty I stay out of a lot of the political stuff talk. I have my takes and stuff, but I stay out of the fray when it comes to some of that stuff because sometimes people aren't looking to learn, they're looking to just like give monologues and just kind of tell you what it is. So I stay out the way, but I don't want people to think that like, I mean, I signed off every single video with peace in, confusion out, and be positive. Some people may think it's corny and stupid. I don't care.
No,
I'm gonna say it
it's
every
not.
single time.
It's not corny
Because
at all.
I really do feel like the word tells us that like that God is not the God of confusion. Like he's the Prince of Peace. And the Bible says that we should strive to be at peace with all men, just not the people who think like you. And I think a lot of Christians nowadays, like, if you believe how we believe, we will have peace with you. But if not, God called us to be kind, but we don't have to be nice. Like, people really think that, and it's dumb, and it makes no sense. I promise I won't go on a whole monologue about that. But I do feel like having this whole, the be positive, having this thing of B plus, I think that people can think that I'm purposely dodging the spiciness.
Right.
I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. But I just believe that that God's word is it's confrontational enough. It checks you enough. It doesn't need me to be a jerk on top of it. To share my message or to share the message of the gospel. So I'm not sure if that answers your question. I think you asked me about my upbringing, but now we're here. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and look, and I'm gonna keep it there too. And look, I have to confess, shout out to C. Micah.
Yes.
When I mentioned the Holy Culture Radio, I remember the song, "Yes, I'm a Christian, I ain't scared to tell you." I apologize, I ripped one of your songs, brother. Can you please forgive me?
Hey, I'll send you his Cash App.
Yeah, I got, brother. I can't look. I can only promise you 3 letters. I owe you, but we're gonna keep it there. But hey, brother, just know, hey, I got love for you, brother. You know, so when you
still know
said
the song.
that struck a conviction chord in me thinking about Holy Culture Radio, and then you bring up C. Micah, and I'm sitting there wrestling as you telling your story. But you're right about what you said, man. I'm similar with a lot of things that you brought up. Like, I'm the same way. I don't get too much into the political stuff, but that doesn't mean people don't know this and don't know that, because I feel a lot of times in a lot of situations, people just, you know, as the saying goes, people don't want to listen to understand. They just want to listen to reply. And so I don't waste my energy on that either. You know, I don't cast my pearls before swine, and I just let it be what it be. Because sometimes with some people, they'll have us talking in circles to where there's no solution. It's just more confusion. And like you said, God is not the author of confusion. So
he's not. And I feel like that happens so much amongst believers. They just be on there just like getting their Twitter fingers off. They just be all big and bold and like giving their perspective and stuff. And I'm like, and I'll go ahead and say it because we hear there's some people that that would like to have conversations like this, but I know that they're rooted in, they know what they disagree with me about, and they just want to talk to me about what they disagree with me about. And I'm just kind of like, I don't have the energy for it. I don't have the energy for it. And it's a hard pass. It's like a Steve Nash, like bounce, hesitate, crossover, and then no look that way. It's one of those, like, it's a pass. I'm not going to do it because like, it's just, there's enough Christian YouTubers that are running like the exposed sites that are like always trying to find and nitpick how somebody said something. They're not being gracious at all. They're not taking them at their best. They're taking them at their worst. And like, there's enough of that. and I know that sells. If I just started a YouTube channel where I was just picking apart Christian hip hop artists' lyrics and saying like, I didn't like how that metaphor landed, or he mentioned a stylish car, so he bought that stylish car, so now he could be using that money to do this for God. I'm like, I can create a channel and do that, and I will skyrocket and have more and more subs because people like drama. Like the word says that people's the feet run swift to mischief. And sorry for all the word, but like it's the word, and I can easily start a channel to do that, and it'll grow fast. Praise God, I just went over 500 subscribers maybe a week ago. I just went over 1,000 followers on Twitter like a day ago. And I'm appreciative of that because like I know to myself, I didn't do anything like outside of my character to grow anything. I just kind of stayed in my lane. And shout out to my wife. Like she is she's very aware of what I'm doing. It's not like I'm just like kind of doing this thing over here and like she's not aware of what I'm doing or like the conversations that I'm having, things like that. Like I'll bounce things off of her. Like I'll have a take on something. I'll say like, babe, what do you think about this? She'll be like, nah, here's another perspective or something like that. So like, I say all that to say, I'm not sure. I go on these rabbit trails. We both do this and we don't apologize for it.
No, absolutely.
But like, yeah. I'll just stop there. I'll stop there because I feel like I'm way off on the rabbit trail, and I know you got some questions. You got paper. It's ripped up. It's ripped up. Paper. You got a big X on it. Right.
Look, but like you said, and we'll get on. But no, just to piggyback off of everything you're saying, it's like you said. I mean, you dropped a couple of gems right there. Like you said, like with your wife. Mm-hmm. You honoring and cherishing your wife and saying, hey, there's like an accountability there, or there's somebody to be like, hey, think about it from this perspective. You're like, oh, okay. Whereas I feel that that's notes that people got to take, and it's the flip side for me. Like I have blind spot brothers, they see areas that I may not see, and they give me wisdom to like, hey, bro, you may want to sit this one out, or hey, bro, is this fruitful? And I'm like, no, but they're like, hell, think about it. Is it glorifying God or is it glorifying you and your feelings? Yeah. And I'm like, my feelings, but my feelings matter. They're like, nah. Like,
man, like your feelings can really get you in trouble. Like you're supposed to feel them. You're supposed to feel them because like you're human. Right. But it's like, I like what shout out to he'll never see this video, but shout out to Tim Ross. He has a podcast called The Basement. But shout out to, he always says feelings are just information. Mm-hmm. It's like you got to know what to do with the information. A lot of times we get feelings and we just go crazy with them. It's like, no, calm down. These are feelings or information. What do you need to do with them? Like you're triggered. Like you being triggered, and maybe I'm wrong for this. Tell me in the comment section. But I feel like triggers are your responsibility. Like if somebody triggers you, it's not up to you to go tell them like, hey, you trigger me and this is why you trigger me in most cases. But in some cases, it's like, okay, that triggered me. Okay, let me sit with that. Sit with my feelings. Why am I triggered? Okay, I'm triggered because of something happened in my past that has nothing to do with them. So maybe I shouldn't go yell at them because this is connected to something that I'm dealing with.
Yeah, it's an inner work. It's an inner work that need to be done. And I want to hit two quotes. I think, rest in peace, I think his name is Darren Patrick, where he said, when you always feel defensive, like truly ask yourself, what are you truly defending? And also another pointer, shout out to Armand Wake Up.
Yes, sir.
Feelings don't know your future.
Feelings get overwhelmed by the how. Feelings freeze when they hear the sound. Feelings don't understand that I'm found. Yeah. Feelings are so stupid. Feelings don't know your future. Yeah. Feelings are so stupid. Feelings don't know your future.
So,
was that a bar from a song?
Yeah.
Send me that song. That sounds like I need to hear the rest of it.
I got you.
The context of the bar.
Man. I know you a high star. You up there. And I'm just little old me. But hey, I just want to give you your flowers. But yeah, feelings don't know your future. And I think just to also the relay on what you're saying, like the kind of big piggyback off of what you're saying, I think us as believers, what we don't recognize is that when we're fussing with each other, at the end of the day, the world is watching us.
Yep. And they don't know who the dummy is.
Look, and let me just say this, since we are here, we keeping it raw and uncut. This is the thing. What people don't realize behind the scenes is this, and I'm only just speaking for me.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when there's a lot of spatting and a lot of Twitter fingers and a lot of people want to shoot shots and hide it behind a smiley face emoji or a LOL to try to soften the blow. The thing is, I have people that hit me up like, Lank, those are men's? Like how Kevin Hart said in that movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, like, yo, was that your man? That's your man?
Both of y'all.
Yeah, but yeah.
Both of y'all.
This your boy?
Yeah, that's my boy. We rep the same smart tech. Both of y'all.
I have.
You smart tech?
Yeah, smart tech. Yeah. Like for real, I have people that hit me up like, "That's your man's."
What did I do?
It don't matter.
And it's tricky for me because I have to be gracious in how I explain it to them because they don't understand the context of grace and mercy. But I have to be careful because I'm not trying to shoot shots at my brother.
Yep.
Or my sister as I'm explaining it to them, but I have to let them know the real. I'm like, yeah, we can be jacked up at times. I say we because I'm a part of the church.
Yep. I got blind spots like a mug. Yeah.
Me too. So it's like letting them know my transparency, where I fall short at. But then also on the flip side, like saying, yo, we be jacked up, but there's no excuse for that. We need to tidy up. We need to get things together because I think what us as believers don't recognize, it's not more so of, I think some believers focus so much on the distancing versus the distinction. That's the main thing that's going to set us apart, the distinction. When people say, yo, there's something different about you.
Right.
I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
And it's letting them know, yo, Jesus. And I think in that people don't understand all the conversations I have with people like, yo, so with your peoples, man, I'm like, yeah, we can be off. We are here having the same arguments within 2 to 3 years, especially if you want to talk about us, the CHH community.
Yeah.
People want to shoot shots about, oh, they not Christian enough because they don't rap how the way I like them to rap because we like to worship our preference and not realizing we're one body and different members. You know what I mean? We're all in the body. You know, everybody can't be the index finger. Everybody can't be the nose. And the thing is, like I always say, like when the fist hits the eye, the whole body won't see straight. So why are we hitting each other? At the end of the day, we have our issues, but it's in how we deal with our issues to where we can model Christ. And that should be the distinction to show the world, like, hey, we have real issues. There's certain people, we don't like each other. We ain't gonna be fake. However, we love on one another. It's like, well, let's show that on how we rock. Like, not everybody's going to click. Not everybody's going to rock. It's like, yo, I got love for you. We don't click, but I got love for you, my brother in the Lord. You're my sister in the Lord. But it's to show people like, yo, there's a distinction on how we should go about that. Do I hit it every time? No, sir.
Right.
Because you have people that get on Twitter and you have people that get on these records. And so it's like, for me, I'm more of a person, I don't sneak and tweet, I meet and greet. Like, if that's an issue, let's talk. It ain't even on no tough stuff. It's like, because I'm not no tough guy, I'm none of that. I'm just me. Yeah. But let's get an understanding, because there's been times I made an assumption on folk off of certain things, and then I get to meet the person. I'm like, oh, shoot, I read that tweet way wrong. Like, and that's the thing, guys. Disclaimer. If you guys have each other's number, not saying because I don't be giving my number to everybody like that.
Right. Or at least just DM them. At the very least, if you follow each other, DM them. Just
DM them, hit them up, at the end of the day, and just be like, yo, let's chop, if you're willing to chop, and then talk it through. Because sometimes, it's sometimes it's not about holding a grudge, it's about holding a conversation. Yeah. And it can clear a lot of air. Yeah. And the devil don't want that to happen. So Just to lay it like that. So 100 on what you said, bro. I'm with you 150%.
Appreciate it.
You know, and that leads into something deep too. You know, there's something else I want to hit you on with all of this too, with everything you're describing. I'm gonna ask two questions, but I'm gonna ask one real quick and ask another one if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So, when you're talking about with Christian hip hop and with growing up and your upbringing, so were you in a household that was strict to where you were only able to listen to Christian hip hop, or was it more like linear or with a nuance where you were open to listen to regular hip hop too? Like, what was that like?